Biharī Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandanam Raja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasho Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Shrotra Shri Srimad Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Beauty Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Shrotra Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Das Thakur ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagvatam. Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 10, Chapter 12, verse number 39. Just Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Canto 10, Chapter 12, verse number 39. So, pardon?
We're still thinking Canto 12.
Very soon. Sakridyadanga pratimantara ahita manomai bhagavatim dadau gatim sa eva nityatma sukhanubhuti abhi vyudasto mayontaragato hi kim puna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. If even only once or even by force one brings the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into one's mind, one can attain the supreme salvation by the mercy of Krishna, as did Aghasura. What then is to be said of those whose hearts the Supreme Personality of Godhead enters when He appears as an incarnation, or those who always think of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the source of transcendental bliss for all living entities, and by whom all illusion is completely removed. Purport. Just a second. Did we miss 38? Oh, it was 38, sorry. Okay, sorry. Yeah, 37 we did, yes. Okay, 38, sorry. Naitad vichitram manujarbha maina paravaranam paramasya vedisa aghopi yat sparshana dauta pataka prapatma samyam tav asatam sudurlabham. Krishna is the cause of all causes. The causes and the effects of the material world, both higher and lower, are all created by the Supreme Lord, the original controller. When Krishna appeared as the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, he did so by his causeless mercy. Consequently, for him to exhibit his unlimited opulence was not at all wonderful. Indeed, he showed such great mercy that even Aghasur, the most sinful miscreant, was elevated by being one of his associates and achieving Sarupya Mukti, which is actually impossible for materially contaminated persons to attain. Purport. The word Maya is also used in connection with love. Out of Maya, love, a father has affection for his child. Therefore, the word Mayina indicates that Krishna, out of love, appeared as the son of Nanda Maharaj and assumed the form of a human child, Manu Jarbha. Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the creator of cause and effect, and he is the supreme controller. Nothing is impossible for him. Therefore, that he enabled even a living being like Aghasur to attain salvation of Sarupya Mukti was not at all wonderful for Krishna. Krishna took pleasure in entering the mouth of Aghasur in a sporting spirit along with his associates. Therefore, when Aghasur, by the sporting association as maintained in the spiritual world, was purified of all contamination, he attained Sarupya Mukti and Vimukti by the grace of Krishna. For Krishna, this was not at all wonderful. Om Ajnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangulam gaitagiri yat kripataham vande Shri Guru Dinataranam. Vanchakalpatarasya kripasinvacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Krishna is the cause of all causes. The causes and effects of the material world, both higher and lower, are all created by the Supreme Lord, the original controller. So, when we say Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Nadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam, the cause of all causes. Yes, the cause of all causes. And then generally, it is said, how can the cause of all causes have a cause? You know, but once I was actually discussing this point, and at that moment, this devotee, a very senior devotee, he mentioned that actually we shouldn't just say that the cause of all causes doesn't have a cause. It's not enough. And then he mentioned a very wonderful point that, the cause and effect in this material world is a material concept. That an action gives reaction, it is a material concept. Okay, so it's like when I eat a lot of sweet, my teeth start becoming sensitive, or I might have stomach ache and all. That's the cause was eating, and the effect was having that stomach ache. That is actually a material concept. Yes, it's not spiritual, because there is no cause and effect in the spiritual world. And at that moment it made so much sense. And I was shocked that where is this? Because he just mentioned it on the spot. I just took it as is. But, Krishna, it's actually from Bhagvatam, and I did not realize that. Obviously, Bhagvatam is huge. But he did not mention that it is from Bhagavatam that he's taken, and he just mentioned it. And I was shocked that that's actually something very, very wonderful. That because in the spiritual world, there is no cause and effect. It's apparent cause and effect. It's apparent. But over here is actual cause and effect. That there are rules to be followed. That's why over here it is written that it is not wonderful for Krishna that even though he is a miscreant, he was elevated. Ideally speaking, he should not have been elevated. Yes, it's actually, it's in the translation itself, Prabhupada writes, which is actually impossible for a materially contaminated person to attain. If you are in the material world, if we are in the material world, we have to face cause and effect. But for Krishna, there is no cause and effect. Yes, nothing caused him, and there is no effect because of that cause. And so, it's very wonderful that this translation came up over here. The causes and effects of the material world, both higher and lower, are all created by the Supreme Lord, the original controller. It's not like in the spiritual world you do something and you'll get. That's why they can eat unlimited sweets. Yes, they won't have a stomach ache. Yes, first, why? Because there is no cause and effect. Everything is rasa. Everything is rasa. It has nothing to do with the material concept like this. That's why whenever we compare the spiritual and material world, we say it's a perverted reflection. Yes, the real tree is actually in the spiritual world. It's not in the material world. The real tree is over there, the blueprint is over there. Then it gets mapped, it gets reflected over here. It's a very, very philosophical and very grave point actually. It doesn't exist over here. It's there, but the actual blueprint is over there. Yes. It's a perverted reflection. So that's why the cause and effect, as soon as Brahma comes up, then there are cause and effects which start over in this material world. Yes, because of this, then this, then this, and then this. And that's why Krishna, the Lord, is not bound, because He is the one who's created the laws of karma. He doesn't come under the laws of karma. Why? Because He is the creator of those laws. Prabhupada explains this very simply, that when a prime minister or a president of the whole country, he shows up, he doesn't have to follow, when the cars go down the traffic lanes, there might be, red lights and everything. They just walk through. Even if it's a red light, they just go through, even ambulances. They don't have to accept all these rules. There are special things which are going on. He says it so beautifully. But the actual understanding is so very deep. So very deep. And that's why Krishna is Sarva Karana Karanam. The cause and effects in this world, the laws of having cause and effects, the reason that they are there is because of the Supreme Lord. It's not that's why these atheists, when they say that, Krishna comes and then he has to face his reactions of laws of karma and all that, and this and that, and so many things which are sometimes given also in an apparent way. But that actually doesn't exist for the Lord. He does it out of His causeless will. Causeless. Yes. There is no cause for His mercy. It's causeless. Why? That word is there, causeless mercy. Mercy can have an effect over here in this world. Mercy can mean that I give in charity, then I will receive that back in the next lifetime, or maybe in 100 lifetimes. I will be receiving it back. Yes, when you do Ashwamedha Yajna and all that stuff, you give so much in charity, then you become Indra. That's the effect you get. That's mercy. Yes, He's giving mercy. He's giving in charity. But why is it causeless? Because that the last line over here. It is actually impossible for a material contaminated person to attain. He showed with great mercy that even Aghasur, the most sinful miscreant, was elevated to being one of His associates. Causeless mercy. That is Krishna. Actually, sometimes it says that we shouldn't, when we add mercy and causeless together, it actually becomes redundant. Mercy is causeless. No, but actually, if you see from this purport or this translation, mercy can be in the bounds of, because you can do charity in three modes, right? And all of them will have reactions. You give charity to a Brahmana, you will get a reaction for it. But you give a charity to a Vaishnava, there is a difference. Yes, there is a totally different thing. When you give charity to the temple, definitely to an ISKCON temple, it's totally different than actually giving charity to a cause in the world where you're giving something for, development somewhere in a village or somewhere. It's totally different. Why? Because it is causeless. Over there, they might deserve that mercy because by karma it comes to them. Yes, by karma is going to come to them. But this over here is causeless. Yes, Aghasur got causeless mercy. Krishna is causeless, So that's why it is so wonderful to actually see that all these aspects, when Prabhupada mentions everything is in Bhagavatam, it is so true. Yes, the spiritual world is in Bhagavatam, the material world, the aspects of the material world are in Bhagavatam, the whole philosophy is out there, and that's why for us as Gaudiyas, the only book we follow is the Bhagavatam. All the other books are extracted from Bhagavatam. They all follow Bhagavatam. Whether it's the Acharya's books, whether it is anything, our book is the book, Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's why study of Srimad Bhagavatam is utmost important. Yes. When we say higher levels of bhakti, in higher levels of bhakti, actually if somebody is practicing higher levels of bhakti, the higher level of bhakti is to study Srimad Bhagavatam. The higher level of bhakti is not given that you start performing performances somewhere out over there and then attract more and more thousands of people. Yes, that is a part of preaching. But if somebody is serious, he has to study Bhagavatam. There is no option at all. There is no escape. Yes, there is no escape. Studying Srimad Bhagavatam is the way. That's why Mahaprabhu put so much focus on hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's why Srila Prabhupada instilled this program. Yesterday I was listening, Haldar Maharaj mentioned it. That's why he instilled this program, Srimad Bhagavatam in the morning. Earlier, before Prabhupada came, before ISKCON was established, why was Bhagavatam done? It's because you get nice pious credits. Yes. That day I was talking to Mataji and then she was mentioning her grandma, right? Your grandmother, right? But she had the taste. Yes. She held Bhagavatam for the taste. So in different ways it was being done. But to formalize Srimad Bhagavatam as a regular thing, and just give dharma projita kaitavatra nirmat saranam satam. We don't want anything else. Yes, this Bhagavatam is only for the Paramhamsas. Yes, and those who want to become Paramhamsas. Yes, otherwise there is no other option. Yes, those people who are naturally inclined, like Mataji was mentioning, they tasted Bhagavatam, right? They tasted Bhagavatam, they tasted Ramayana. Why? Without that, there is no relishment for the heart. Relishment comes later. Initially, it is staunch, practice. Then, causeless mercy shows up. Causeless mercy of Krishna shows up by the endeavor. After that endeavor is done, Krishna being pleased, yes, then that attraction will show up. Yes, attraction will show up. One might say, to know about Bhagavad. Yes, for other things, when you are using those things to prove a point, ask a very intelligent and try to show off that you know so much more, then yeah, that is a different game, Sometimes we see, oh, what about, sometimes people ask, that, I think in Charlotte, somebody was asking that, what happened to Eklavya over here and this and that, and a very specific detail. And obviously I didn't know it. So then I said that, unfortunately, I'm not aware of it and I cannot answer. Maybe somebody else can do it. And then people start thinking that, oh, okay, that you don't know this? Oh, wow, you haven't studied enough? Oh, wow, you haven't done this enough? But that is information. Maharaj was saying once, to know details about Krishna is a totally different game. That's love. But if somebody is judging somebody on the basis of information, yes, because he knows more and he doesn't, that's why he's not a good devotee, or he cannot speak that much and that's why he's not a good devotee, or he cannot pronounce Sanskrit so much, that's why he's not a good devotee. That's such a materially contaminated state. Such a materially contaminated state. Very neophyte. It's nowhere near even, neophyte. There is that Kanishta, Madhyama, Kanishta, Uttama, and then you do all these stages. It's not even Kanishta, Madhyama, So sad. The problem is that we judge somebody's bhakti by the amount of following, by the prestige, by the power, by the influence. That's a problem we have. And that's why over here it says it is impossible for materially contaminated persons to attain. Yes. Aghasur over here, Prabhupada is mentioning, Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the creator of cause and effect. And this is the thing that's devotee. I'm so shocked that it's over here actually. It's Prabhupada. I thought that this person is saying it on his own, but one time it was like somebody was mentioning this point, that when we hear Radhanath Swami sometimes say, sometimes it's, if you listen to the same thing which he says, the translation, sometimes he'll quote and then he give translation and all. And somebody was mentioning that actually it is literally the whole paragraph is as is, he's read so much that somebody was telling me that it literally shows up as is. There's verbatim. There is no oh, this is paraphrasing. No, he just says it as is. And how Prabhupada would speak. That the as is way. And so I thought that this senior devotee was saying it because he has thought about it somewhere. And then maybe Prabhupada did not give it, Why would Prabhupada give such a elaborate answer? But no, Prabhupada is so great. It's like wonderful Krishna and wonderful Prabhupada. He is the creator and cause of effect. And he is the supreme controller. Nothing is impossible for him. Therefore, that he enabled even a living being like Aghasur, to attain the salvation of Sarupya Mukti was not at all wonderful for Krishna. Yes. Krishna took pleasure in entering the mouth of Aghasur in a sporting spirit, and Aghasur enabled that. So, yena kena prakarena Krishna smaranam, that is tomorrow's verse, right? That somehow or the other, focusing on Krishna, focusing on his pastimes, we become purified. What about those who now have started, just seeing, because they desire for Krishna? What about those people? That's what the next verse is. We'll see that tomorrow. But the point over here is that our vision to see other devotees and the way we judge them or we appreciate them is on the basis of externals, which is actually a very contaminated state. Yes, very contaminated state. So that's why we become familiar with those who are senior actually. That becomes a problem. Yes, we do not see their surrender for so many years. Yes, we just see from externals the amount of name, fame, prestige they have. Yes, or the position they have. But it's not about that. Yes, it is about, because to take care and to be, like yesterday I was listening to a class, Haldar Maharaj was saying, it is so difficult to be a temple president. They have to take so much effort. You know, when like Mataji was gone for like 2 weeks, I think 3 weeks. I don't know, 3 weeks, okay. It felt so long. It felt so long. Because who will take care? Yes, things might go on some way or the other, but it's not as good as having the person. And I was thinking in my head, it is so true. Yes, that is surrender. Yes, to dedicate, who can do that? It's very difficult. The pujaris in a temple, very difficult. To do all this, very difficult. It's easier said than done that, they should do this, they should do that. But then if you think you can do it, then why not you help and come ahead and do it? No, but I will sit back and complain. Okay, it's fine, but at least give a solution to it. No, but I don't have to give a solution. Why? Because even if you give a solution, it's like, oh no, it's not possible. But then you come and do it if you have a problem. Oh no, somebody was telling me that, oh, you should not take such photos or something. I was thinking, because I don't have photography skills. But at least, then I became very furious, I'm like, then why don't you give? You start giving me. Then I'll put it. No worries. Every Sunday, every event, you do it. If you don't do it, then we'll come and thrash you. Oh, you're not doing a good job. Because usually it's the other way around, right? Oh, no, that person is not doing a good job. Yeah, change. No, you become then. You become and you do it. Prabhupada used to say this. That before you, see, there is natural because we are conditioned. Okay, there might be natural way of letting it out and everything. Agreed. But after that point, at one point, sometime, we should come to that understanding. No, it's fine. It's fine. Because there is so much else to do. Yes. How much can one person do? Yes. How much can one person do? Nobody wants to come. We've seen it so many places. When we ask for seva, yes, there might be some people who are always coming, but there are some people who never come. They just show up as, guest speakers who show up in the temple. And they don't even speak, They are guests, even though they might be here for so many years. No, I do so much seva. Where you do so much seva? At home. Oh, okay. Nice. Very nice. But the whole point is that, why did I come over here? Oh yeah, because we judge externally. Yes. At least, yes, might not be pure devotees, agreed. But if we don't see it also, a little bit here and there also, at least a little bit, it's not going to fructify much. The problem is that we might have that tendency for very long. Yes, we might have fault-finding tendency, which I have, agreed. But the whole point is that the effort is, when we see those faults, how do we come back and how do we reconcile that it's fine? Maybe, yes, I cannot tolerate it. Okay, then try to do something about it. You try to get up and do something about it. Prabhupada used to say this. Okay, he's doing it, right? Okay, if before you say something, you do it first and then say. First, Prabhupada yesterday I was listening to the class, he was saying, first deserve and then desire. Yes. If somebody thinks he can do a better job, why not? We'll give a pilot program. Try it for a year. Not for a month, for a year. Try it. And then we'll see how it works out. Or somebody was telling me this. Yeah, give them that thing to do. It's fine. Some senior devotee was saying, let them do it. Then we'll see what happens. If it works out, my sister was telling me, if it works out, that means, your ego was too big. You couldn't digest them doing it. And if they couldn't do it, they understood their ego was too big. Somebody's ego got crushed, right? So well and good, But we should not be proud. We should try not to be proud at least, right? So having causeless mercy is a causeless thing, right? And for that, we have to take efforts. Very hard to take efforts. I was just thinking that it's so hard to chant attentively. I just can't do it. Is there another way to plead? But Haldar Maharaj says, no, there isn't. There is only one way, to chant. Then only Krishna, all our answers will be cleared, all our issues will be cleared when we chant. Yes? When we chant attentively. For what? Because Krishna being pleased, then he'll give me the answer. If he doesn't want to, that means not there yet. He's looking for something else. Yes? So we'll stop here today. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Gantara Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Causeless mercy definitely will come answer. You first mentioned about the sound of saying there is no need to cause and effect. But Prabhupada clearly saying cause and effect in your purpose, right?
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm reading the wrong one. Sorry.
Krishna is the cause of all causes, he is the creator of cause and effect.
That one?
Right.
Yeah, okay. He's the creator of cause and effect.
Clearly, it's clear that will be the cause and creator, cause and effect.
But he is impossible.
He is the cause.
Karan, this is the all causes of causes.
Uh-huh.
Actually, you saying some probably saying that he is not in this way. He won't not necessarily.
No. So somebody mentions that, okay, it's like the cause of all causes doesn't have a cause. Okay, this line is not enough to prove that Krishna is the cause of all causes. Okay, it's like somebody comes and asks, right, who created you? My mother and father, let's say. Who created my mother and father? Somebody. So there is cause, effect, right? So we go back. So then somebody will come and say, my relatives usually come and say that, who created Krishna then? You know? So then I had heard in one lecture, somebody mentioned that the cause of all causes, because Krishna is the cause of all causes, there is no cause for Krishna. Yeah. But this person, actually it was Maharaj, he mentioned that that is not enough to argue that point. Krishna is the cause of all causes. Krishna is the cause of all causes. But we cannot put that statement that the cause of all causes, which is Krishna, cannot have a cause. It is not enough to prove that the absolute truth is in control of everything. So that's why Prabhupada is giving, he is the creator of cause and effect. There's a difference. When Prabhupada is saying he is the creator, there is a difference. Because Krishna is beyond cause and effect.
The simple answer is that not apply to Krishna.
Yeah. But the thing is that philosophically speaking, it is we just mentioned that statement because it is not enough to prove philosophically that the cause of all causes doesn't have a cause. It's not an enough argument. That was the discussion. Why is it not enough argument? Because, see, we accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. We accept. We haven't realized it. Problem is that, right? So then somebody new comes, and if he says that who created Krishna? No, Shastra says, Shastra can say anything, they'll say. It's a book. Like Prabhupada mentioned once that, what did he say? That how do you know Krishna is the Supreme Absolute Truth? You know, something like that Prabhupada was questioning. And then the disciple said, Bhagavad Gita says it. Right? Like we will say, right? Bhagavad Gita says it, Bhagavatam. Prabhupada said, Bhagavad Gita is just a book. How do you know? Actually, Prabhupada said, then this and they're like, no, Prabhupada, you said it, that's why we are accepting. I am an old man, I can say anything. And then everybody was like, Prabhupada, we don't know the answer. And then Prabhupada said, I forgot this thing. And then Prabhupada said, it's that when you experience Krishna, you know, when you experience the happiness and spiritual ecstasy, that means that Krishna is the absolute truth. Something like that he said. But he actually said it. Bhagavad Gita is just a book. How can you say? You know, people outside will say this, right, for us. Bhagavad Gita is just a book. Who cares? If you go to a Christian person, he'll be like, kya hai? Ek book hai sirf. But if you have to talk philosophically to that person, then he will say that, oh, Like Vedanta, what is Athato Brahma Jigyasa, Janmadhyasya Yatonvayat. Yes. So Janmadhyasya Yatonvayat, when we say Janmadhyasya Yatonvayat, Janma Adi, before the Janma of everything, Krishna is a Janma. Yes, he is no birth for Krishna. But it's very difficult for them to understand. So when we say that the cause of all causes doesn't have a cause, they'll be like, then how do we come to that cause? But then over there, Prabhupada is giving something different. He's saying, he is the creator of cause and effect. Farak hai. You know? It's not the same as saying that Krishna is the cause of all causes. Yes, that is true. But how do we understand it? He is the creator of cause and effect. Wo different hai. Cause and effect is one of the energies of the Lord. Material energies. Cause and effect. Okay. A tree... No.
Example, causeless mercy means Agasur came to kill and then it is the cause.
How is it causeless? The thing, yeah, that's what.
Every asura killed by Krishna and they got the liberation. That is cause because they want to against the Krishna or something. Cause.
No, but he.
Without that, they are not.
Correct. But Krishna has a choice, right?
Somebody working in Arizona, you don't know about nothing. Krishna came and then gave him the...
Correct.
And then that is called causeless mercy. Otherwise, if somebody try to get Krishna or whatever, people are whatever they will say, this is one part of doing it. And if they are trying to connect to the Krishna, that is not causeless mercy.
The thing is that he has a choice.
Everybody doing some cause.
No, Krishna, no. Krishna, why is it causeless? Because that's the thing. The thing is that Aghasur is still in the material plane. He is in karma and effect. Correct? Ideally speaking, he should be suffering. After Krishna killed him also, he should go to hell. Ideally speaking, he should go to hell for his evil deeds. But the thing is that Krishna chooses to give him Sarupya Mukti. That's why it is causeless. It's coming from the beyond the material realm.
That is my question. Without cause not happening. Giving.
But he, correct. But the thing is that we are also here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is absolute. Absolute.
No, I'm not blaming you as you
No. I'm saying, example. I'm giving an example.
It's not going to deeper. Directly from outside we are saying it's not looking like the causeless mercy because cause is there.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The cause, what is the cause? Ideally, Aghasur should go where? To spiritual world or Narak? Where should he go ideally?
He came to kill.
Before he came to kill, where was his destination?
Writing there after Krishna touching.
Krishna. That's what I'm trying to say. Correct. This is also Krishna. But this is not, he is not enabling me to go back home, back to Godhead.
Definitely mercy is there, but not causeless mercy.
That's what I'm trying to say. It is still causeless. You're not able to understand. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's the reason I'm putting the question.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to answer. So if you listen carefully, then you'll answer, right? You'll able to hear.
I mean, in the outer side, when I told you that on outer side, looking like
Correct. That's what I'm trying to say.
going to the inner,
That's what I'm trying to say. Agreed. I understood your question.
people are not like
Do you want to just say? No, do you want to just ask the question or you want to hear the answer?
no, I'm hearing answer also.
So can I say? Okay. The thing is that Aghasur was ideally destined to go to hell. That is the reaction of this material world. Cause and effect is the cause which he did. His deeds of going back to hell were definite, correct? So then the effect was supposed to go to hell. But after Krishna kills also, still he should go to hell. Who chose to send him back home, back to Godhead? Krishna chose to send him back home, back to Godhead. Why? Because it is his mercy. Correct. Why is it causeless? Why is it causeless? Because Aghasur did not do anything to actually earn to go back home, back to Godhead. It's written, right, in the translation in the end, Prabhupada says, it's impossible for a contaminated person to go back home, back to Godhead. Correct. So then, Aghasur idol is totally materially contaminated, more than me. So then, how is he going back home, back to Godhead, and I am not going before him? Can we answer? So the cause is that, but Krishna doesn't have a cause, right? His will doesn't have a cause. The point is that, coming from a spiritual world, Krishna chooses to give his mercy. That's why we have two paths, Kripa Shakti and Sadhana. There are two to three ways, right? There is one way that by having Krishna's mercy, we can immediately go back home, back to Godhead. If we are not getting that, then we do sadhana bhakti. Correct? So that's why Rupa Goswami says there are two ways. But the first way is very rare. It is actually very rare. That's why it is said it is causeless. Why? Because Krishna's will is there. Yes, Krishna's will itself is the causeless thing. Mercy is there. But Krishna's will to actually give him liberation, that is still there. It is his choice. Krishna has a choice and he chose to do that, which has nothing to do with Aghasur's past. That's why it is said it is causeless. Now, if you have anything, now you tell me. Now, if you accept this, or if you don't accept it, but I get it, the point. The thing is that
You giving your best. Accept or not accept is different.
Okay. Thank you.
English language is very difficult sometimes.